What's up, y'all? I wanted to make this video to show how I got Tekken God very quickly and how I improved very quickly in this game and how you can too. And this isn't me smurfing or speedrunning, by the way. I was actually red rank in Tekken 7. So I've just been trying to play Tekken 8 very mindfully, have a learning mindset, and that's how I got here so quickly. So just briefly going over these stats, I have I hit Tekken God within 320 games with an 80% win rate, which is pretty crazy considering that most people get here with over 1,000 with a 60 to 55% win rate. So I've been playing pretty well. I mostly just play player match, and I have about 200 hours in this game. So not too much playtime, but I have been improving very quickly, and I just wanted to go over these videos to go over how I did that. So first thing will be my mindset and strategy to climb quickly and learn quickly. Second thing are things that I noticed about each rank and how to climb out of each one. The third thing is how to beat what I call ranked demons, essentially people that have flowcharts that they crafted over, 1,000 games in Fujin. And finally, just some tips to help you improve and get you to this level. Starting off with a couple tips that help regardless of rank. There's this mod called Tranquility that I found very helpful. What it does, it essentially removes the rank display and removes if you're in a promotion or demotion match, and also removes how many points you gain or lose from being displayed. So it just helps you not tilt, because I know the ranked system is very tilting. Second is I use the strategy of, and mind the spreadsheet. This is just like showing my wins and losses. If I lose two in a row, I just leave and come back the next day. So I lost two here. I came back the next day to win. So when I lose two in a row, I just hop off. I did it again here, lost two in a row on the 2nd of August, and then re-queued back on the 4th. And then I did it again here. Actually, I didn't. It looks like I rage queued back after losing three in a row, but it worked out, but I wouldn't recommend it. Uh, Implicitly, this means that I'm one and dunning people sometimes, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy about it. It's just a thing that I did to climb quickly. I speedran this shit. I got it very fast, so I had to play the system a bit. And I'm sorry if I one and done you in ranked. I did it because you're better than me. And yeah, you got to play the system a bit to climb fast. And if you're about to complain that I one and done people and you're gonna say, "Oh, this video is shit," um, at least be in Tekken God rank before you get there. The main way that I climbed fast was ironically avoiding cheese as much as possible. And I say ironically because I play Yoshimitsu, but when I say cheese, I mean shit like this. So there's a string that I have that's +7 on block into a mix-up, but it's a mid-high, so it's duckable. But when you're playing against bad players, they're not going to duck it. So in theory, you can climb to maybe at least purple rank, just spamming this move over and over. But I kind of try to actively avoid using cheese even against players that I know that it would work on. So I wasn't I was trying to learn the hard way. I was trying to play Tekken the hard way, and this really kind of elevated me as a player. Because when you get rid of your cheese, all you have is your movement and your basic moves to avoid situations. And when you release the crutch, you start to unlock and understand all your options that you have in every situation. So if I had a quick tip for people, it's, avoid cheese completely, because crunching on these is going to make you pay in later ranks when people understand what these cheese things are. My other big tip for just like general playstyle and game plan is to focus on movement and defense rather than playing into your offense. And what I see a lot, and this isn't every rank, is what a lot of people call small Tekken, but I call brainless Tekken. It's just like people poke, they poke back, you poke, they poke back. One person does a low, like it's just like very brainless and has no timing. And at the higher ranks, like blues to Tekken King and up, um, people are gonna start abusing this. So they know that you're gonna jab back or mash back. So people are gonna do like mid high that's safe into some backswing blow or like some high crush launcher. Um, in general, the more that you mash back into people, the more that you fall into their traps. If you're just holding block when someone's just like mashing their face off with a flowchart, nothing is going to happen to you. There's not many flowcharts that end in low, surprisingly. So if you're just holding the block and understanding what they're doing, and just like being mindful about the game plan that the opponent has, rather than being mindful about your own game plan, you'll really succeed. One thing I said there is really important. It's just focusing on your opponent's game plan more than your own. So for Yoshi, I have like 200 moves, but to be honest, I use like 10 of them in like a general offense. Well, not that move, that was a miss, uh, but in general, I don't use that many moves, and that's because I just want to focus on beating my opponent, not running my own game plan and hoping that it works against them. What you'll find in almost every rank is that if you have a confident defense, if you can adapt on the fly, if you can recognize what people are doing, you can beat anybody. Your offense doesn't need to be very creative. Uh, so, for example, if I see this Dragunov doing this flowchart of safe mid high into backswing blow, the next time that he does it, he does this backswing blow and I launch him for it because it's launch punishable. I would only learn this though if I'm blocking. If I just pushed into it, I would be like, oh man, Dragunov's so broken. Like, what is this flowchart? And I get killed for jabbing back. So, like, just make sure to focus on your opponent's game plan rather than your own. Couple channel announcements. I have a Discord to join if you want to play games, if you just want to talk about Tekken. Join. It's pretty small, but just building a small community right now. Subscribe, and I have a Twitter, so give me a follow. And just going over what I noticed at each rank, I'm mostly going to talk about the ranks from Garyu above, uh, because the above ranks are just people kind of trying to figure out what the game is. Um, but in these ranks, I would say there isn't really much difference between like Garyu all the way to Fujin, especially like the type of people that you meet. They essentially are using the same flowcharts. So all the way from Garyu to even like Raijin or Kishin, people are doing the same flowcharts. They just have a different ability to adapt to the opponent's flowcharts. So their offense is like really stupid, really dumb, and they recognize that their opponents are doing the same thing. So you'll see in blue ranks people are like ducking more between strings, or like they're catching mid highs, like versus like in Gargu, you'll never see someone duck a mid high, and in Mighty Ruler maybe you'll see like a couple. Uh, but in general, like these ranks are full of players that rely on an offense of you pushing back into them. It's mostly frame traps. It's like that mid high trap that I showed you guys before. Offense in these ranks are not very creative. So if you can hold your block, if you can be confident in not mashing back and being confident in taking a bit of damage to do your download, you're going to be really, really well off in these ranks. Starting from Bushin and above, you start to see a very dynamic range of players. You have like people that turtle up, you have people that have created the most brutal flowchart of all time that took them from Garyu to Tekken Emperor, and anywhere in between. And the secret for ranking up in these high ranks, and obviously I haven't gotten to God Supreme or God of Destruction yet, which I hope to do very soon. I just haven't had the time. But regardless, the way to beat these players is to find them in ranked, add them, and then play some games with them, play some friendlies with them. Because if you followed my last tip about focusing on what your opponent is doing while you have like a more balanced offense, you eventually you're going to learn how to beat even the highest ranks in the game. You play enough games with them, you're going to learn how to beat them. So I would say, just to summarize, if you're in any rank like from Kishin to below, you need to focus on your defense. You need to focus on not mashing back, and just focusing on what your opponent is doing. And honestly, from Bushin and above, it doesn't change. Uh, but people are going to flowchart less, and it's going to be a bit more mental. It's going to be a lot more about, how much respect is this guy giving me? Uh, how much does this guy mash on minus? Stuff like that. So a lot of that changes between ranks, and you're just going to have to adapt. So for an example of this, I played against this guy, username Taiga, and he's a June player in TGS when I was in Tekken Emperor. And this guy stole so much elo from me. I think he beat me 2-0 in 2 sets in a row. Uh, and yeah, he accepted my friend request after the game. We played a bunch of sets together. We still play. And yeah, I'm really thankful for him adding me back. And actually, you'll be surprised on how many players add you back. But if you look at, my recent Tekken match history, I played against him recently in ranked. And at this elo, you play against the same people all the time. And I 2-0'd him. And this was actually on the way to getting Tekken God. So, uh, yeah, playing against people that you think are better than you, or are better than you, works, and I would seriously recommend it. One thing that's super important is to, learn how to beat these ranked demons. And this is when I was in Tekken Emperor against another Tekken Emperor June. And if you just watch how this guy plays, like he's throwing this like safe launcher into can like every time. And essentially, I mean, it's not a very, hidden game plan. And this is like a Tekken Emperor flowcharter. So if you're just focusing on seeing what they're doing and just counterplaying it, these like advanced cheese strategies are never going to work on you. Obviously, like the character that I main has tools that he can use to, avoid some things like flash, namely. Um, but if you look at most of the damage that I get on this guy, it's just me avoiding his flowcharts. I mean, he just did it again. Can into the safe launcher. And this is Tekken Emperor, by the way, guys. So just keep in mind that the flowcharters that you're seeing in Garyu or Mighty Ruler aren't as crazy as this. And if you see what I just did, I jabbed into the trap and I died for it. So that's just an example of me showing off exactly what I mean. Like, you jab into the traps, you die. If you play well and take your time, you'll get whiff punishes just like these. So focus on your own game. Also, I don't know how that whiffed, but this game is crazy. I kind of rambled for a bit, so I just wanted to spend like a 2-3 minute section just like condensing all my points. Number one is just like having a good mindset and a good strategy. So when I say that, I mean like getting the tranquility mod, making sure you're on a positive mindset, on a learning mindset every time you play. I rarely get angry at this game. I rarely tilt Q, unless I'm, angry at this game, and it usually never turns out well. So just make sure that you have a focus on learning. If you lose, there's a reason for it. You're never entitled to a victory. The second thing is just to make sure that you're focusing on your opponent, like your laser eye. Like if you saw my eye tracker when I'm playing Tekken, I'm like watching this Kazuya's left arm very aggressively. It's not. I'm rarely looking at my character, and the way you do that is just like having a really simple but effective offense, and instead focusing on just like beating your opponent's flowcharts, beating your opponent's tendencies, because below like even Tekken God Supreme, everybody is just killing themselves with their offense. So take advantage of it. And my final point about ranked demons is just focusing on, if you watch your opponent, you're seeing what they're doing, and they're doing this crazy flowchart. The worst thing to do is just jab back, because they know that you're going to jab back. They have tech for it. They're going to power crush you. They're going to flash you. They're going to do 10 million different things to kill you for it. What I like to do, and what you should do too, is just to hold the block. Give yourself time to download. It takes a lot of lows to beat people in this game, but it takes very few punishes to kill somebody. So if you're seeing a flowchart and you don't understand how to beat it, don't just disrespect or jab back. Like, be present, focus on the block, and find your opportunity to strike. In general, I climbed very fast, but it took a lot of work. It took a lot of like positive mindset and like re-education of my own, core values. Not to get too deep into it, but if you want to get better at this game, you need to remove that sense of entitlement. And you also need to have some more patience, because, between every rank, I spent like 100, 200 games and like casuals with players that same rank or above, leveling up on my like Goku training arc. So it takes a lot of hard work, and sometimes the best way to rank up is to not play ranked at all, and then come back with a new, fresh mindset, new strategies, and get there. Overall, I wish you the best of luck, because ranking up in Tekken 8 is really hard and really stressful. Like I had to, take some deep breaths, drink ginger tea before my game. So this shit is not easy, man. Just make sure that when you're playing the game, you're focused on not winning, but beating your opponent. And I feel like that distinction will take you very, very far.